Painting 101. I know you guys are a little bit familiar with our gnomes. We've done a few gnomes in the past. I'm going to do two different gnome designs today, so we'll kind of bounce back and forth between our two rocks here and create some fun patriotic gnomes. Ooh, my white, it's a little thin here, maybe wearing out. I'm going to use a little bit of gray in here anyways. So we're going to do two different designs that you guys can create as well, or you can use them for inspiration to kind of come up with another design. When I put on my beard, I like to pull my paint pen in a vertical stripes just so that you get kind of that beard look. And I like to add in just a bit of gray, so just go right on top of your white, add in some gray stripes like that, and then I'm going to go right back on top with my white. Make sure you doodle off the tip of your gray. Don't want to end up with a bunch of white on the tip of your gray, and we're just going to go right back in, and that just gets it from being that stark white color. And I'm going to make an arch at the bottom here for our face. And we can add some texture lines when we're lining towards the end as well. There we go. So I'm just adding just a little eye shape, and this color is way too dark for my liking, so I always go a little bit of that and go right back in with our white. Don't be scared to use these pens. When I first used them, I got so nervous doing this, mixing right on the rocks and right using the tips, but I promise you, you'll be fine. I do it all the time. There we go. Just do this. Can you see that? Just doodle. I'll show you. Look how dark it was. That was my white tip. Doodle, doodle. Comes right off. See? Okay, so don't be scared. There we go. All right, so we're gonna just put on our hat shapes that we're working with first. I have two different kind of sizes and shapes of rocks here. So it just depends on what kind of shape of rock you're working with. Sorry, make sure I'm in frame here. To what kind of hat or how tall your hat is, or if your hat's gonna slump over. In my design, I want this to slump over a little. Look, I've got this little pit here. I'm gonna try to be careful because it's right in my design, but I just don't want to hiccup through it and end up with a big, huge splatter of ink. So I'm going to come up to the top, and I'm actually going to fold this one over just a smidge here, thinner and thinner. I want to put a star at the tip of this hat. It's just part of my design. It's going to fill in white. Just like that. Now, anywhere where you have a fold, you can give it a little line like this. We're going to fill these in, so it's not that big of a deal to do those marks now. I'm just showing you kind of see how you can make that fold happen. And it's okay, just adjust your outline because we're going to fill all of this in. Don't worry, just make sure your outside line is where you want it to be. And I'm going to put my nose on here while I have this black out. Like that. And let's go ahead and put the top of our hat on, just so we know what we're working with here. There we go. All right, now we're gonna outline this hat over here. Is gonna slump over a lot more because we don't have as much head space. So you have to have the top of the head first. You don't wanna come too far in too fast because there is a head shape in there. So you wanna kind of come up straight at least a little bit first before you start tapering it. And you can have it go, I probably should have to go this way because I have more space, but too late. We're going this way now. We're gonna go up, over, and you can have it come down as far as you want. However long of a tail you want your hat to have, you can put on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in. Let's do this hat over here first because I wanna put white down. We're gonna do white and red stripes. Actually, no, we're gonna do white and red stripes, I think, on, this one. Let's do this one. So I'm gonna fill this in white. Red will lay down on top of the white just fine. White's gonna need a couple layers. I think I might need a new white 3M. I've never replaced this one, you guys. It might be about time. These pens last a really long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in this hat with blue. I love how blue lays down. Look how perfect that is. The pigment in blue is like, it's one of my favorite paint pens. Blue and the purple both go down so not translucent. I don't know what word I'm looking for there, but I think you can tell exactly what I mean just by looking how well that goes on. One coat, that's all you ever need. And we'll let that dry a little bit. I did not go inside my star here. We're gonna do that. So sorry, I'm kind of ping-ponging back and forth, but that way I can do both rocks. We can leave some dry time in between. So whenever I do a star, I like to place my dot right in the center, and then I kind of pull each of the tips out so I can kind of lift up and away as I come out to the tip. It kind of helps me fill it in without being too thick. So you can kind of pull it up and away as you go. And this white's gonna need a second layer. All right, let's come back over here to our blue one. We're gonna get him. Now, some people maybe would want to go in and do actual stars. You know how I roll though. This is 101. I want this to be something anybody can achieve. So instead of actually doing individual stars, we're just gonna come in and do dots on our blue. We're gonna do something else to really make it scream patriotic here in a second, but you can go all the way down. Just keep him nice and simple, like that, as many as you want. One more right there. All right, we're gonna give him a little hand popping out of his beard here. And we're gonna have to go back with a little bit of white on that. Trying to get it to match his face a little bit. Give him a little flag here, or pendant. We'll go with the flag shape. We'll fill that in a minute. Little eyes here. When I outline my beard, I'm always kind of more of a sketch line. Give it almost a little bit of texture, and then you can come in here and just add a couple little streaks as well. Outline his little hand. Let's do a red flag. We're gonna do all red, and then we'll have the letters on top. Go ahead and fill that in. So we're gonna do red stripes on here, and that will leave behind white stripes, obviously. So we're just gonna go in a diagonal pattern here. I'm gonna line on the outside of these stripes with the black again, possibly. So I just wanna make sure that I'm making them thick enough that when I create the outlines, you're still gonna see plenty of the red behind. Now, this is why I did the white, the entire base coat, because then you'll only need one coat of your red. And then you'll have enough. Now remember up here, it's kind of folding over, so you kind of can tilt your design a little bit there. I'm gonna write USA on our little banner here. I'm gonna do it with white, so it pops off the red really well. I might have to put a red dot in the center of that. My A kind of closed on me there, but that's okay. That's easy to fix. So when you have your folds, you can see this one, since I have the lines on here, you can't really see the folds as much, but we can give a couple little accent lines for your folds are in little Y shapes or little V shapes. On this one, you'll be able to tell more because there's no stripes. There we go. USA. Let's funny, this still looks a little Christmassy to me. So let's go right in here. And we're gonna get close. I've got my little tiny 1M blue I can get into these tiny spots with. There we go. Let's let that blue dry. I'll put a couple little white dots in there. I think that looks better already. Look, see, you can do little booties sticking out of the bottom of your beards if you like. It's another way that you can add another detail that can show off like a color that you're trying to bring through, but I think that looks better already. I am gonna add my little white dots for stars once this blue is dry, but you can see, I don't know if you can see on there, you can tell where it's wet. So once it's dry, we can add in a couple little dots for stars and it will be done. Okay, I'm going to outline his little feet. I appreciate all the comments and likes and shares and all that good stuff, you guys, too. We are always doing at least 2 tutorials over on YouTube, Mondays and Thursdays, and sometimes I sneak in a bonus one from time to time as well. So if you're following along over there, you'll always get the newest stuff. So we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye, everybody.